Hi, Rio Valley. Welcome back for another Work It Out Wednesday. We have some really big news. We need to change the date of our mega test prep session. Unfortunately, April 12th does not work, so our new mega test prep session will be April 19th. We still hope you can all make it. Again, that mega test prep session will be April 19th. But on with our Work It Out Wednesdays. We have these every Wednesday. We're going to be talking about a new test prepping strategy. We're going to be talking about some different ways that you can use that test prep strategy. And we're going to again have that culminating experience on April 19th now. So please mark your calendars for our new date, April 19th. This week, we have a super awesome strategy that I hope you all really enjoy, and it is taking notes. Strategy number 8. So, mostly this is going to be used with ELA. It can be applied to science and math, but during the taking notes period, you're not taking a lot of notes. You're not writing a novel about what you're reading. You're just going to be making a quick jot note. So, what do I mean by a jot note? A jot note is just one or two, JOT, just J, one, O, or two, T words. And that can be a key point, a main idea, something you want to remember from what you're reading as you're going through the test. This is a great strategy to pair with the strategy of reading the question first, because once you've read that question and you're going back and you're reading the passage, now you're taking those jot notes, you go back to answer those questions, boom, you've got it. All right, so let's look at how we can actually put this together and what it actually does to help us. So, when we use this strategy of taking notes, we actually have the ability to organize our thoughts. So, writing down key details and points of information from the text helps us to organize our information and thoughts and details, which keeps us from forgetting those details. So, as I'm going through, sometimes those passages are really long. I'm going to really have the opportunity to organize all of that information. So, taking notes. If I'm doing this on a science test, maybe there's a formula that I'm giving at the beginning, and then I'm going through it, I'm working through a bunch of different things, and I want to make sure that I remember that formula. Okay, well, I'm probably going to want to take a note of that. If I'm going through on a reading test and I'm thinking about persuasion, or if I'm thinking about what's going to be the person's point of view, I'm probably going to want to write that down. Point of view. That's going to be something that I'm going to want to be thinking about as I'm going through and reading. So, that organizational piece is going to be really important. And that leads us into active engagement. So, when we do take notes, it helps us to actively engage our brain. It engages that part of our brain that engages with the material that we're reading. So, we're summarizing, we're paraphrasing, we're getting those concepts. And not only are you helping yourself to prepare and do better to answer the questions, but you're also actively engaging with the material, which is going to keep you engaged in what you're doing, which is going to help you to do better overall. So you've got that active engagement piece. The next part of how test taking and taking notes can be beneficial together is going to be looking at clarification. So using those jot notes can be super helpful because those jot notes can help clarify questions and concepts that maybe you weren't quite sure about originally. So you might be going through reading a passage. I'm not sure if this is the point of view. I'm going to write that down. Then you come across another character's point of view. I'm going to write that down. So now you've got two different notes with two different characters, and both of their point of views are jotted down on your jot notes, when you come back to look at what it is exactly that they're asking for in the question, you have that clarification. You are able to critically think and connect with the information and answer that question. Another really powerful piece of taking notes is the time management part. When you're actively taking notes, when you're testing, time management is on your side. Being able to take part in jotting down what's going on keeps you on task. When you're on task, you're being able to move effectively and quickly through all of the points of what you need to do without spending too much time on one question. Have you ever found yourself just kind of staring off at something, thinking about it? Instead of just sitting there and staring off at the wall, what if you were actively thinking about it by writing a note about what it was that you were thinking about and then coming back to it later? That's exactly what the test taking note strategy is all about. The next part is that it can definitely reduce anxiety. And a lot of these test taking strategies, that's all that we want you to do. We want you to see these. We want you to practice them. We want to reduce that test taking anxiety. So, by taking these notes, you're providing yourself the ability to control and organize all of the things that we just talked about. You're giving yourself the attention to the task at hand, which then kind of reduces that anxiety. So, you know, hey, I've got all of this information right here. I can do it. All right. Well, I really, really, really look forward to seeing all of you at our mega test prep session on April 19th. April 19th. Thank you so much. Remember, we changed the date for our mega test prepping session. April 19th will be the new day for our mega test prepping session. I look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.